the Tucker. We're at the AACA Museum in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I've only got a few minutes because Mrs. CW is here to come and get me. The Tucker, it's the success and the failure. This is the most rare of the 3 cars produced with automatic transmission. This is the only one that was ever driven. I read the details, but now I forget. Fuel tank had to be made smaller, better weight distribution, air-cooled, engine converted to water-cooled, suspension, bucks, slopping on the clay. That's how you make a car. Wooden buck, cover it with clay, mold it. All kinds of interesting Tucker suspensions removed from cars and fires. V8 conversion in the 1950s. This car was destroyed in a fire in 1978. Preston Tucker, he made the car real, and then a fellow had 3 of them, and a collection of all the factory literature and blueprints. And the fellow just died. I saw the video on YouTube. Rear engine, water cooled. They had a huge factory, machine shop and assembly, private driveways, Pulaski Road, oil and chip shop, magnesium foundry, aluminum foundry, forge plants, and die shops. 2 power plants. It was real. The Tucker was a real car. There's a great video on YouTube. Not the movie that you're thinking of with, what was his name, the fancy actor. Original barn door from the Tucker family barn, Ypsilanti, Michigan. Courtesy of the Tucker family. What a great display on the Tucker automobile. Here's the original air-cooled. It was a helicopter engine. In the conversion, the engine was changed to water-cooled. Interesting. Helicopter engine converted from air to water cooling. Cammack Tucker exhibits. This fellow just passed away, and he's in the video being shown right there. He just passed away. He had a great collection with 3 Tuckers, and here's a comparison of a Cadillac and an early Tucker prototype with hydraulic valve lifters, I guess. A little on the complicated side. All custom made, a one-off, and he eventually turned it into a real, genuine automobile. Only 51 were made. The original one had a wooden front bumper that they christened. His daughter broke a bottle of champagne over it. And we don't get to see it all, but we see most of it. There's so much to this display. Franklin. Opposed 6-cylinder. You have to go watch the video on YouTube that discusses. It's not the, is it Lloyd Bridges? Beau Bridges? That was in the fancy Tucker movie. Go watch the video that describes this fellow's collection, and I think it's an hour long. I watched it a few years ago. Prototype Tucker engine, cast aluminum. There's the radiator. Electrical solenoids. Tucker engine with cord transmission and Tucker radiator. Salvaged from Tucker automobile number 1018. Not easy making a car from scratch. Not easy at all. This engine is the last in the series of prototypes. And there they are, all the engines in that staged photo in the factory. A lot goes into making a car, and this guy, Preston Tucker, did it. The original, I guess they used this to test the chassis. 2 radiators up front. 62-inch tread, chassis forms, body line, frame, cross members, tread, torsional frame members, engine mount in the rear. Test chassis of one of Tucker 48. Test chassis 1 of Tucker 48. Cadillac V8 with the X-frame and a exposed drive shaft, single exhaust, versus the Tucker. they are. This fellow had 3 Tuckers. A maroon one, a bronze one, and there's one, I'm not sure where it is. I'm pretty sure he had 3. Well, whoop. Valve cap is missing. I wonder if I have one in my pocket. I think I do. Oh, I had one. I gave it to a fellow at a gas station. He was missing a valve cap on his GM van. Having a good time at the Tucker Museum display at the AACA Museum in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Wow. Oil filter, oil cooler, reservoir tank, very crudely handmade. It's not fuel injection because it's got 2 carburetors, just like a Corvair. Hydraulic valve lifters. Come see the museum. It's really worth it. It's really worth it. Single braking system. Yep. He built the car. He really did it. This is interesting. Tucker engine number 1. This engine could not be used due to flaws in the design. The oil filter tube, it's the filler tube, was too close to the body, so a second one needed to be added. There were no breathers in the valve covers. The water pump was mounted solid with nothing to absorb vibration. Fan mounted backwards. So a second filler tube had to be added. Is that the filler tube right there? That's the water cooling jackets. Oil filler tube number 1, oil filler tube with a cork and a chain number 2. Electric starter. Yeah, trial and error. You make one, it's not right, you scrap it and make another one. 6-cylinder, just like the Corvair that would come 10 or so years later. Taking a test drive with the man and his cigarette right there. Is that Preston Tucker, I think? That's his mother. There were accusations that he had stolen money from his mother or something. I don't think so. The SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, vindicated him, but it was too late. He died penniless or something. I'm glad we had our freedom here to look at this entire Tucker presentation. Nobody bothered us. How 15 years of testing produced the surprise car of the year, the Tucker 48. Tucker sets a new pattern for safety. New pattern of safety. Principles in use of proportional keys for surface development. 2-door model with the Tucker. Tucker Corporation takes over Chicago Dodge plant. Wow, what a big operation. This is no joke. This was no joke. To Tommy with the best, Preston Tucker. Harry Miller and Preston Tucker at Indianapolis Speedway, and there's the Miller overhead cam, double overhead cam Tucker 4-cylinder engine with 2 giant Zenith updraft carburetors. Spaceship Tucker. Come to the museum. I'm glad I did. I'm having a great time here. So much to see, so many great cars. I'll take you on a fast tour around the corner. Lovely. What a great display. Oh, found the last Tucker. It's just around the corner. 1948 Tucker. Number 1022. The first Tucker purchased by the late David Cammack, and the car that started his obsession with the make. The car utilized Tucker Y1 transmission, a Tucker modified Cord 810 and 812 unit, and improved rubber sandwich suspension design. Tucker Gray Silver. Welcome to the Tucker Museum. Tucker exhibit. Amazing car, amazing story. Watch the video on YouTube.